welcome in. All right. Welcome to Divine Go to Intuitions, where we master being divine at this 3D reality, okay? If you were on the reading earlier today on my channel, Divine Go to Intuitions, we were doing a message and the earth spirits came up, the gnome, okay? So gnomes could be significant at this time. If you are guided to this video, it's for a reason, okay? So you're about to unlock something within the earth, okay? So let's get into it. You didn't come here by mistake. There's no coincidences in the universe. Okay, so let's clear it up. And even if you're just here to listen, okay, let's get into it. Okay, so gnomes. What is a gnome? Okay, what is a gnome? We see them in movies, the children movies. We all heard of gnomes. And a lot of us, like the first time before I realized the aspects that the gnome held when it came to magic and earth and how much of a power player they are, you really just think about, the holiday times, they have the gnomes out. We're really not really sure why. We just see them and whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's get into it. For some of us, we may have even heard them in mythical stories, things like that, but do we really know what they mean? Do we really know what they're used for? Do we really know how to utilize them in our 3D reality? So this video is going to be detailing that for you. I'm going to give you a breakdown, okay? So I'm going to tell you who they are. I'm going to tell you what they're known for, the history, the myths, the folklore, how you can benefit by connecting with them on your journey. And also, I'm going to tell you how to connect with them if you would like to, okay? And give you a little bit of breakdown of the whole situation so that you can be able to go about it in a knowledgeable way. But I still recommend that you do your own research. Make sure you take your time to do your own research, okay, for yourself. I will after I get done with this live video, I will be putting a playlist down below of some type of videos that deal with gnomes. It's going to be an unlisted playlist, so just click the playlist link that will be in this video. All right. And it's going to have a couple videos about gnomes history where you could kind of get into the frequency to connect. But I'm also going to tell you how you can connect on your own once you get ready to and feel comfortable if you decide to. Okay. So gnomes are earth spirits, often depicted. Y'all not got my notes. Okay. Often depicted as small bearded men with pointy caps who live underground. The actual term gnome was popularized by the 16th century Swiss alchemist, and his name was Paracelsus. Okay, so that's going to probably be the first thing that you see. When you go to do your own research and pull it up on your own, that's probably going to be the first thing that you see. Gnomes, the name gnome came from this alchemist, okay, from the 16th century. And he also was naming a lot of different mythical creatures, right? Because gnomes are not the only earth spirit, okay? When you start doing your research, you're gonna see that. And then when I put the private playlist in this video, it's also going to talk about some of the other earth spirits, okay? One common one that we all know is fairies, okay? A lot of people know about fairies as well. Another common one is the symphs, okay? But you'll see more when you start to get into your research, all right? They were also mentioned within ancient Greek texts. Fjords of Norway, the mountains of Switzerland, and the forests of Germany, okay, specifically. Now, especially now with like TikTok, YouTube, different things like that, a lot of people are showing a lot of reports of gnomes, okay? So if you want to just see like, okay, maybe you're done looking at the history, you got the history part, you got the understanding of, okay, what they are, but you're like, okay, I want to see, like, did anybody catch them on camera, things like that. They have videos of people catching them on camera. Now, what I will tell you is to keep in mind the things that I'm about to tell you in this video, because everybody doesn't have a good experience. And I'm going to tell you why that could have been for some of those people, because a lot of times we look at something and we may villainize it, but we don't even take the time to look at the whole story, right? So, yeah, because I know I've seen certain stories where um, they'll have them looking like they like trying to paint a fear connotation when they probably wasn't respecting the earth. They probably was doing something that was disrespectful to the gnome. Okay, so let's get into it. Now that we know like the origin, who they are, what are they known for, and how can they benefit you on your journey? This is very important to know, okay? Because a lot of people just doing stuff. Don't be one of those people that's just doing stuff, okay? Think about how can this benefit you on your journey, because it's no point in getting involved with something when it's not necessary, right? The less that you'll complicate things, the better and more effective, and you'll have more clarity on being able to manifest what you're trying to grasp, right? Being able to bring what you're trying to grasp into your 3D reality, okay? So yeah, gnomes are protectors of lands, plants, animals. All right, so if you are a farmer, if you have farmland, if you have a garden, if you have plants, if you have a home, if you have, say, especially for like my practitioners, my farmers, my landscapers, um, people that are involved in doing anything outside or with the land, it's really good to build this relationship, because this is giving you an extra sense of security, right? Say you do a lot of workings and you bury a lot of workings. Now you have the gnomes protecting your land, to be able to guard your land, to be able to protect the things that you have going on, okay? A lot of people also report, like, when they have their gnomes around, their yards don't get messed with as much by animals, things like that. Like, so it's a lot of different benefits that you can get, because these beings are deeply connected to Earth, okay? And they're living in the underground caverns and mines. And this is where they are believed to work with minerals and different metals and crystals, and crystal mining and all that is another way that you can like connect with them, because that's something that aligns with them, okay? Gnomes are known to guard and protect over the riches of the earth, and we show and will show you favor. My bad, I couldn't read my notes, y'all. It will show you favor if you respect the earth. Now, that's what I was speaking about, where if you do see negative connotations of them, make sure to use your critical thinking. Make sure to utilize your brain and see, like, were these people disrespecting the land? Were these people being disrespectful to the gnomes? Were they treating them as if they were a mythical creature and not something that's real? Because don't fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to do this and all of a sudden you realize that, yeah, mythical creatures are real, and you realize in the wrong way. Okay, so be respectful. Always keep in mind that treat these spirits, these entities, these relationships that you are building with unseen forces, treat it with the utmost respect. You almost want to treat it with more respect than you treat the mortal beings here, okay, on this earth, because these immortal beings are doing things that they can never do, all right? And you also doing something for them that they can't do, okay? So keep in mind, all right? And so yeah, and also have respect for yourself, and realize that you're not worshiping anything, you're not begging anything. You are working with, and this is more, we're going to speak about the difference between invocation and evocation, because this is an energy here where a lot of things that I've spoke to you guys about on my channel here, like for instance, for an example, like Yimaye or Oya, that was a spirit more so that we invoke, but this is an energy more so that you will evoke, okay? Evocation instead of invocation. We're going to speak about this though, because it's a complex topic, because even when you just think about everything being one, right? We're all the flower of life concept. So it's pretty complex, but we're gonna go over it, okay? Let's see, where was we at? They also like to work well with people that are working towards their passions, people that are working towards their craft, artistic, creators, innovators. This may not be, well, I'm not going to say, like, for somebody who's too much of a realist, um, you work in some type of field where it's it's very much shut off, like, and you're not really in tune with your intuition, you're not really in tune with your passion, your creative aspect, this may not be the relationship for you, you know. But for somebody who's an artist, or somebody who's doing something that is artistic, or creating something, or crafting something, or and this can look like many different things. Like landscaping is a craft, is a creative aspect. Okay, so this can look like many different things. This spirit can work well with you. Okay, gnomes are benevolent entities. All right, and what is a benevolent entity? Because this is different than certain spirits that you work with, where you may have to bring certain specific offering. You may have to do certain things. You may have to make sure that you don't disrespect them in a certain way because they have certain guidelines, right? This spirit is a benevolent energy, so it's a little bit different than that. It's a benevolent entity. And benevolent entities are beings also known as guardian angels. All right. These are guardians, and this specifically is the guardian on the earth, of the physical. Okay, think pinnacles, right? If you're thinking about the tarot. Okay. But yeah, these beings these beings send their aid to help humanity from beyond the waking world. Okay, they watch over individuals and aid causes or calm troubled souls. So this is a really good energy to bring around. And if you feel like you have been troubled, or you could feel like a lot of energy, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to your land, these are good spirits to work with here because they're guardian spirits. So say for instance, like, if you're living on a land like a war land or something, and you keep having like some intense experiences in your home, it may be benefit you to start to connect with the gnomes within your space, and your area, and your, you know, it could benefit you, okay, to connect with those gnomes on your land. All right, because then you may not experience that, or you could have a turn of luck with certain things. Okay, your emotions. Like, I'm gonna show you guys too how they help you break free from some abundance blocks. We're gonna go over some of that as well here, because a lot of times it's blocks within our heart, and that's blocking our abundance here. And they help break free from that. They also help break free from like societal programming about money and beliefs about wealth. You know, so we're gonna get more into detail with that as well. But much like good ghosts, good ancestors, and good is to what good means to you, because that's up to perception. Angels, gnomes can be called on with no offering. Okay, now, but we know what? We live in an energetic universe. Nothing is free. Okay, so this is why I say, you know, if you able to, and I feel like everybody's able to do something, because even if you can't go buy anything, you can go and draw a picture or create something like for the gnome. Okay, because it's really all about intent, and the imagery helps the subconscious, because this is all, you know, subconscious universe. So even just you taking the time to listen to them, play their history, that's, you know, intent. Keep that in mind. All right. All right, so gnomes are a part of the light spectrum we don't pick up on because of our programming and our indoctrination, different religious beliefs. Even when you enter this video, or this video may not even get that much views and things like that, because a lot of people's subconscious mind is already gonna block it out. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to a gnome, and I'm gonna get a gnome statue, and I'm gonna put it outside my house, and I'm gonna start connecting to the gnomes outside. Oh my God, I think I'm crazy. Like, I'm really getting crazy. But it's just when you think you're getting crazy that just when you think that you're actually onto something. That's that actual moment, right? And this is why too, where they want you to think that it's crazy because they don't want you tapping into that. They don't want you tapping into that. You know what you could get, what you could command these spirits to do for you, especially depending on what your spiritual ranking is. Who knows who I'm talking to right now? Who know? You don't even know fully your Akashic, where you been at. They don't want you talking to no. They don't want you talking to no spirits that's holding wealth. Okay. Gnomes are not physical and exist outside the realm of the tangible world, along with other mythical creatures. This is why it's necessary to get into a state of meditation and get into a place where you are trying to, now we're going to get into the evoke, right? Get into a place where you're trying to evoke, not invoke. So let's break down invocation, well, invocation and invocation. All right, so the first one is invocation, Evocation, which derives from the Latin word evocare, which is to call forth or to summon, right? This is when you more so are summoning, you're commanding, you're using the spirit more so as a tool, all right? And you could also use this spirit as a source of knowledge, right? You may be summoning this spirit to come give you some wisdom, to tell you what you need to do. You may be summoning this spirit to go to this person and visit them and give them a sign that they need to do this for me because I deserve this. Or like, say if you deserve a job position and you want to send your gnome out there to go talk to that boss and get him a vision or go in a dream, right? Commanding. All right, but don't get too much in the egotistical energy of like, oh, they're working for me. Like, yeah, they're working for you, but it's also exchange. All right, and we're gonna go really, really deep on the Patreon with this type of content, so y'all stay tuned. I will be dropping the Patreon on the 1st of February. Okay, we'll be dropping the Patreon on the 1st of February, and it will be going all the way down. Okay, and we will definitely be touching on more doll magic and things like that. I have a doll that I just got recently that it was made in the 1950s in Thailand. So it holds an amazing energy. Oh my God. But yeah, so check out the Patreon. Be on the lookout for that. Turn your post notifications on, okay? Now let's talk about invocation. Now, invocation, Invocation, to invocare, is to invite in. Okay, so this is more like when we channel and spirit is speaking through us, instead of I'm casting a salt circle and I'm evoking something. Right now, you don't have to necessarily cast a salt circle working with a gnome, because a gnome is a benevolent energy. But say if you were working with more of a darker energy, or you were summoning a demon or something, you're going to need to cast a circle of protection, because you're calling in an energy outside yourself. You have to keep it contained, right? If it's a malevolent force. If it's benevolent, you don't have to do that. But I can't tell you what you have to do. You can choose, okay? Depending on what goes to your practice and what you align with, or if you're eclectic and what you feel, right? Now with the invocation, like I was saying with Yimanye, that's a spirit that I invited in, right? Also to be able to channel through me, right? Remember, probably like 2 years ago, I kept telling you guys how we're walking with spirits, how so many spirits are walking with us. Or say if you go to the water and you may not be invoking the spirit to come within you to channel, but say you go to the water and you evoke and you call on those spirits of benevolent energy to go work in your favor, to bring you a love interest or to bring you finances, whatever, for example, right? Okay, so invoking with the I is more so of what a lot of people do nowadays, because a lot of people are not so much more so, like, some people get into that magic, but we don't really see it in the mainstream much, because I feel like if it was, we probably would have way more chaos going on. Because even when you look at like celebrities, this is like when we speak about invoking or evoking certain energies, thinking about when people say, if somebody invokes to invite in a negative entity within their spirit, we see that a lot in the music industry. Or somebody try to invoke the spirit of Michael Jackson in them. Like, those are different rituals people can do. Okay, so keep your mind open, and also let this open your mind to decode what may be actually going on around us. When you see certain spiritual possession and people are possessed, and this is why too, like, certain spirits you may notice the familiarity, right? Especially what's significant with this, like the Solomon and different other things that are more so in alignment with that invocation to invite in. But we see it a lot in ritualistic ceremony within the music. Hey, thank you, boo. I appreciate you. But yes, we see it a lot in the music industry where different rituals and things like that will happen, and you'll notice the spirit on people that could be familiar to certain energies and entities, or they will call on certain energies to be invoked inside of them, right? To invite certain energies into them. And this is why they be like, be careful, don't sell your soul, right? Because if you invite certain energies into you that are malevolent and they are not beneficial to you, you could really, that could really cause you harm, right? Because that's what happens when kids they get into those moments where too, like, even going through big trauma. Yes, oh, you're welcome. Even when kids and people, not even just kids, but when people go through great trauma, sometimes through that, because when you think about even why they have, like, if y'all never heard about the conspiracies about the farms of kids being abused, why do they have those farms of kids being abused? Because if you can get a kid in a state of abuse, that is how certain entities and spirits have to enter this realm, because they can't no other way. They can't enter nobody because their energy is so lower vibrational. They have to do it that way, which is sick. And it's like, but this is stuff that's like, wake up, pay attention, because it's really going on. Okay. So yeah, so that's to break that down. And a lot of times what we see now is to invite in. That's why most people only invoke and even call on certain energies. That's why people, some readers also will clarify with their collective to let them know, like, I'm only speaking to benevolent forces, okay? Anything other than that, right? Close and shut that door. Or people will say, only speaking to sources and energies and gods closest to the light, to the sunlight, right? Anything other than that, closing and shutting that door. Okay, so that's what they're talking about as well, right? Not wanting to invite certain energies in, okay? Because especially when you're giving general messages and things like that, you never know who you're reading for and what energies and entities is walking with them. All right. Where am I at? Oh yeah. So unlike evocation, invocation aims unity with the summoned power, making the practitioner the channel of the divine. And I love invocation for in, because it's like when you do invocation, you can bring about great healing, right? When I was speaking about with me and Yemaye, that brought about great healing with me. Calling in Oya brought in great power within me. Calling in Oshun brought in great sensuality, but also warrior energy. Calling in Papa Legba gave me a little bit of trickster energy, but also this youthful, powerful, optimistic energy. Like giving you guys perspective, okay? And another way, and then so if invocation brings about inside healing, evocation is what? Outside change. So like we could, if we all got into a circle, right? On my Patreon, we're gonna be doing things like this where if we all get into a circle, and this is what they're scared of, like this is what they're scared of right here. This right here. We all get into a circle and we evoke an energy of like Nefertiti or something, or Ra, right? And we evoking this energy and we summoning on this energy, and with a powerful group, sending it to like heal the political, or I'm trying not to use too many words, but you know what I mean? So calling in an energy like that, all of like a group of people, evoking it and sending it to bring about some type of action. Or say a group of goddesses, right? 13 women go call on the moon to call down the essence of goddess, right? Within all of them. And then now they're calling it in. Now their lives may change, right? So outside change, you want to change something outside of you. You want to more so evoke. You want to change something inside of you. You want to more so invoke. But also too, you got to think about as above, so below. So it's like, it's very just, it's like, it's a lot of perspective. That's why I try to keep it open-ended. Yes, I'm going to be open my Patreon on the 1st. So definitely we're going to talk about a lot of things like this. And even just how like, when I was saying about the doll that I got, like how I'm using her energy. Because like our brains are only picking up 1% of the light, that's actually here that is actually here existing in the universe. It's so much more that we're missing. And then not only that, but if you open up your mind to that 1%, okay, you grasping that. But if you don't even open up your mind to that 1%, imagine how much you missing out on. And this is the stuff that they don't want us to know, because if we knew this stuff, like today, if y'all was in the reading earlier, y'all remember me talking about the text that my mama sent me, but I was telling y'all how soul level to kind of take your time to bring intuition to where people's soul level is. Are they society builders, right? Usually the older people have younger souls, so they're more of the society builders. I'm more of a society deformer, more of a molder, reshaping it into something new. So for me, it's like that energy, I'm not paying attention to too much of the government, because it's like we're more so creating, right? We're creating something. The builders are maybe fighting against, or whatever the case may be, the chaos, okay? But also, and chaos magic is something too we're going to discuss too. But let me get back on topic. Because y'all know how I get. Okay. So, gnomes specifically help with financial blocks and are known for being or bringing protection, especially of your land. Okay, so it's really good to put, if you have a business, not just your home, if you have a business front, or you have something that's physical, put a gnome out there, okay, for protection. Your gardens, like we already spoke about that, plants, animals, and they will help you keep abundance flowing in your life as well, okay, because they will go out and bring you these intense, crazy opportunities, especially like if you're being received well and y'all vibing, the relationship y'all rocking, and it's like with an earth spirit, it's like you're here on earth. So if you're not, why are you not connected with the earth spirit? If anything, that's the one spirit that you should be connected with, because we all need earthly matters to, survive earth school. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, they can help bring you the clarity. So this is another thing too, like I was saying, how the gnomes rule over wisdom. So always be open-minded to how things can manifest for you. Because some people be like, oh, I'm working with the gnomes, but I'm not getting no results. My money ain't changed, da-da-da. Okay, well, that fucked up mindset is why it haven't changed, because They could be trying to send you some type of thought process or some type of wisdom within your brain or a download, but because you too set on what you're not seeing, you don't see the opportunity they're trying to reveal to you, or you can't get into a meditative space or a high frequency to be able to receive the download. Okay. So keep in mind too that this could show up like them giving you an idea, or bringing some type of ideas to you for you to be able to use that as the form of manifesting this wealth. Okay. So yeah, they can bring you clarity and wisdom that will guide you to wealth. They also help people who are a part of the craft, like I spoke about. So if you're part of the code, you're part of the craft, you definitely should be working with them, okay? Because they align with that energy that's good for business owners, herbalists, landscapers. We spoke about that. And they also help remove negative energy. Now, if you are somebody who is doing anything, like even if you're not, but most, if you specifically, if you're on a spiritual path doing any type of spiritual job, you know that your light brings light and dark energy. So this is a good energy to have to be able to protect you as well, because when you are a light, it's like a beam just going up in the universe, and it's like the energies and entities sometimes will come and swarm, and this can help them stay at bay. Okay. They also can help ground your energy. Okay, they can help ground you. All right, maybe keeping one on your desk where you read your cards at, or where you do your work at, where you do phone calls, like anything like that. Like keeping a gnome around, keeping one outside. They really like to be outside. So if you do keep one at your desk, make sure to take it outside so that it can experience its land. Because outside of these two eyes, where we may end up noticing it on our third eye, but even if we don't notice it, they are still moving about on this earth. Okay, we just don't see it. All right, unless we get ourselves into that state. They also can help you live a long life. Okay, they can help you look very young, keep a youthful energy about you, things like that. Skin. They also can keep you away from sickness, help you stay away from sickness and illnesses, you and your family. Okay, also help with healing. If you're a healer, if you do anything, doctor or whatever, healing, like, hey, work with this spirit. Okay, it's gonna enhance. All right, and it also just they naturally just help with spiritual gifts, because it's a thing of the earth, right? It's something that we're using here on this earth. So they help with that, because I feel like, to me, in my opinion, and what I grab from that a lot, is that a lot of spirits really appreciate you bringing awareness to them. They appreciate you recognizing them. They appreciate, because especially the day and age that we live in, it's so many disrespectful people when it comes, like, I can only imagine what it feels like to be on the spiritual realm, like as an unseen spirit, in the way that things go down. It's like, oh, for somebody to actually be getting back to the practices, getting back to the way, respecting the land. Because we see what's going on. Y'all, I didn't even get to make it to the post office today because it's freaking snowing in Atlanta. The second time. I'm like, where am I at? Where are we at right now? But what is that? People don't realize that Mother Earth has chakras. It's literally a being in itself, an entity in itself. So, another thing who this is not for, the people that's disrespecting Earth, the people that you're littering, you don't care about none of that, you constantly just disrespecting the Earth, don't work with no gnome, because they're gonna trick you, they're gonna do things on you, they're gonna fuck with you, and you're gonna see that opposite side, because you are disrespecting what they literally protect over, but you want them to work for you. Make it make sense, right? So we gotta be logical and think about those things, okay? Hopefully none of y'all are disrespecting the earth, but if you are, don't work with them. And it says, where we at? And you may be able to, okay, so this is another thing too I was about to get into. And you may be able to petition them depending on the relationship that you develop with them. So like me and the relationship I have with my gnome, like, we have that relationship where I can petition them for certain things, or I can call on them and say, oh, I need you guys to go, I'm calling on my gnomes send some of you guys to go get the energy of wealth that's out there for me. Bring it to me. Yes. Oh, I can't wait. Yes, go, and you can say, go bring that energy to me. Okay. Um, Help me to break free from my abundance blocks. Okay. Um, they can unlock secret ways to gain wealth as well. Remember that. Yes, we're gonna definitely be covering the fairies on Patreon, and a lot of other different spirits. We're gonna do all the elements. We're gonna do the water spirits, fire spirits, earth spirits, air spirits. What was that? Hold on. I'm excited too, because too it's like a lot of people don't even, like, this is key information that's like people don't even know that could really just shift their whole journey, and it's like, but it's because they don't want us to know, but that's okay because we're gonna know. All right, so yeah, they can unlock secret ways to gain wealth that can only be revealed to some, because they're underground, because they are small, not really noticeable. They can gain insight and secrets and reveal things to you and make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Because they can go unseen. If you even watch the TikToks of people catching them on camera, you'll see like how quick they could just disappear into air. Like, so due to this, they can bring giant casino wins, high attraction power, even in love, different things like that, money, even lottery wins, money coming from mysterious sources. Um, yeah. Now, I want you guys to also think about this before you, because y'all know I got y'all. I'm not about to just send y'all out there. I want y'all to also think about these things too, because um, these things matter. Like, a lot of people try to disregard this aspect and just try to go towards working, but it's like we also have to work on ourselves, right? So these are some things that could be significant that you may want to think about, and make sure that you run by yourself your beliefs. Like, what are your core values when it comes to money, when it comes to wealth? What do you really believe? Okay. And I want you guys to think about some of these things, that these are very common. A lot of people feel like money is evil, right? Even if you don't feel like that consciously, subconsciously, that's something that was taught to us through religious programming, through even just, oh, they want you doing better, but they don't want you doing better than them. So that brings the subconscious fear now, because there goes the fear of success, right? Am I going to be able to handle this success? Am I going to be able to handle the responsibility, right? Am I going to be able to, worrying about things that's like, you could be blocking yourself. You don't even have it yet. So how are you wondering if you're gonna be able to handle it? We know what's one of the greatest quotes of all time. God won't give you nothing that you can't handle. Okay, so okay, dead that, right? Also to codependency on external forces, feeling like you have to have that check we was talking about, or you have to have that job or the security. No, you don't. Trust in the universe. Trust in the fact that things can and literally are working out for your best benefit, right? And it's like, look at those opportunities when it doesn't as that challenge, as that opportunity to like really go for it. Like, okay, this is challenging me. This is exciting. This means it's about to be a major change. Okay. Also freeing yourself of scarcity mindset, or lack of worthiness. Okay. So those are something I want y'all to think about as well, when you, before you connect with them, and you feeling like, okay, all right, you feel like you don't get no results before you have to be going down that road. Journal those questions, write them out, and even if you don't want to write them out because that seemed like too much, voice audio record yourself, or record a video of yourself and answer those questions. And a video is good too, or whatever you want to do. That way, I say about 3 months from now, even a month from now, go back to that video, ask yourself the same questions, and watch your answers be different. I promise you. Like, gnomes, like this is, I feel like this is so underrated It is just like, damn, I almost don't want to tell nobody because I'm like, but I ain't no gatekeeper. So it's like, why would I not? Because it's like, what? Okay. How can I connect? Okay. How can you connect? I'm going to put a playlist in this video. All right. After I post it up, I'm going to put a playlist in this video of different content about gnomes, the history, um, the different aspects of the magic of it, how to use it, explaining just elemental magic, period, letting you know what that is. You know, maybe you never heard of elemental magic. Maybe you heard of mythical creatures before, but you're like, I didn't even know it was a such thing as elemental magic. Like, you knew it was elements, but who knew that the gnomes were included in that, or the fairies were literally included just in that, or you know, like any of that. Okay. Um, So yeah, I will have that playlist that y'all can check out, and y'all can get into the frequency and the vibration and get into the knowledge, to be able to get more clarity on what it is. Because even if you join to this video, that'll help you. Like, okay, maybe you're not. You let me see some more. I wanted to get more knowledge. That'll help you. All right. The second thing I recommend that you do is to meditate and sit with yourself. Okay, get yourself into a grounded space. Sit with yourself. Get into a calm energy. All right, you may want to cleanse your energy before this. Maybe do a spiritual bath, or maybe even just swipe yourself with selenite. Okay, and get ready to connect with your gnomes that are already with you here on your path, because time is not real, right? Okay, so the gnomes that are wanting to connect with you are already connecting with you on a higher reality. This is a sign that it's already happening on another reality for you. You're just getting past some type of subconscious block to be able to connect with it, right? All right. And I want you to sit and think about what it is you expect or would like to obtain from this connection. Okay, so now it is, what do you want? What is it that you want? What do you want? What are you expecting to receive from this relationship? Um, Write that out, because that's very important, because a lot of times people will work with spirits and energies and things like that all because I told you to do it, or your grandma did it, or this one did it. And it's like, no, what do you want? Gauge that. After you start working with the spirit, after a month, 2 months, 3 months, see, am I getting towards the results that I want? Am I obtaining, is this giving me what I desire? Is this okay? So I'm gonna keep it going, right? So, or you'll be able to see, okay, this may not be as beneficial for me, so I may drop this. You know, this may not be the practice for me. Maybe I need to get into more so air, or maybe I need to add it in both together and combine it, and that'll work better. You know. However, but you need to pay attention to that, because a lot of times, two things that people don't really think about is the details of what they want, and then another thing is remembering and holding what they want through the art of the manifestation, right? Sometimes people will manifest something and they'll forget like the detail. And what I mean forget is like, they may not forget, they may, when they reread it, but they may forget as in their mind loses the clarity of it. So it's very important to have it written down or spoken somewhere, so that you can remind yourself and have that clarity of like, oh, yeah. Because if anybody do shrooms or plant medicine, you know, it's so easy to go back into an autopilot state, or to go back into your easy mode, like whatever that is for you. So it's very vital, like when I used to give y'all that advice about writing your own 10 commandments. It's very vital that you reread over that. You check in with that. You see, okay, is this serving me? Is this working? Okay. Um, all right, so after you establish that, what it is that you want, okay, now you will go back in meditation and start to let the gnome spirits around you know you are ready, and you are willing and wanting to connect with them. Okay. And I want you to cater that to your own way that you want to say that. Make it personal. All right. And make sure that you take notes. So once you say that and you cater that to your own Close your eyes. Everything that you see, write it down. Everything that you hear, write it down. Everything that you feel. Because even small, simple things that seem like nothing can be something later. All right. So keep that in mind. And now I recommend um, getting a bowl of items that are symbolic of earth. So you can get some rocks, some money, some coins, definitely money and coins, candy, crystals. I like to get them nice little toys, especially if you're trying to manifest a little car. Put one of the little cute cars, something symbolic of like what you want. Um, you want to manifest customers, get little figurines, put the little customers in there, and write little quotes on them too. So you make sure that your customers ain't no annoying customers. Ain't nobody that's gonna get on your nerves. Fruit, dirt, keys. All right. Now you can get a statue of them, a picture of them, or you could draw a picture of them. You don't have to, but I recommend at least drawing one if you can't, and even if you just draw the outline. All right. But usually they want to be outside. So if you don't have a statue or if you're not making offerings to them within the earth, like I recommend every time you go outside, especially on your own land, make an offering to them. Drop some pennies or change or when you're in nature. And if you get anything to give to them from the earth, make sure that you give an offering, okay, as well. Um, and and also the last thing is, if you are wanting to connect with a specific type of gnome, include the cultural items that identify with that one. And earlier we spoke about a couple origins. They showed up in the Switzerland, the ancient, some other different Germany, I think, and some other different ancient texts. So if you specifically want to connect with a specific type of gnome, then you can do that like that as well. I don't personally connect with a specific type, but like say you may be German, you may have German. Like my cousin is German, she's from Germany. She may want to connect with the specific German gnome, so she may do more research on what they may have liked or what they may have entertained or what is something that they may have had, or how they was dressed, whatever. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Um, I will put the playlist up shortly. If you have any questions or anything like that, I want you guys to comment them down below in the comments after I post the live. That way everybody can see the answer so that if they want to ask the same question, it'll be down there in the comments. So yeah, I love you guys. Love yourself. I will see you guys in my next one. Keep in mind that the Patreon will be opening on the 1st of February. We will be breaking down concepts like this on a very deeper level, showing you guys exactly how to actually do the ritual, invoke the energy, or evoke the energy, and be able to command it, utilize it, and different things like that. Because we will do another series um, of this again on Patreon. I love you too. Yes, send me pictures and I'm gonna send you some too, girl. We got snow. I'm like, where am I at? I'm trying to make it to the post office. I'm trying to do all this stuff, and then the snow just start coming down. I'm like, really, really. But I loved it though. It got me really excited. But I was like, all right, I gotta go back to the house because they don't know how to act here at all. Peace, y'all.